Hello everyone, my name is Victoria Pavlov. I'm the Photoshop artist. Welcome to my studio and welcome to my How to Get Started with Adobe Photoshop class. This class for our beginners, so if you never worked with Photoshop, welcome. Welcome and let's start. I would like to start with retouching in Adobe Photoshop. I have opened this old image and definitely I will need to remove all this white spot or dust and I will show you how you can do it in Photoshop. First of all, you need to specify your retouching tool you would like to work with. I have my favorite retouching tools in Photoshop. First, my favorite retouching tool is Spot Healing Brush Tool. If you will click and hold on Spot Healing Brush Tool, Photoshop will display all retouching tools available for you. So let's click on Spot Healing Brush Tool. Now, I will need to increase or decrease the size of my brush. Everything depends on the image. If I will zoom in my document just like this, if we switch back to my Spot Healing Brush Tool, you can see that now I need to increase size of my brush. I will need to make it a little bit bigger than white spot I would like to remove, but not too huge and not too small. So a little bit bigger than this white spot I would like to work with. If I will move to another white spot, example this one, I would like to remove, definitely I will need to bring size of my brush down. After I specify size of my brush, I will click on this white spot and I will massage it out just like this. And look at this. Just like this, I can remove dust, or you can name it, spots out of my image. I don't want to keep you here longer than it's supposed to be, so I definitely need a little bit more time to remove all those spots from this image. But what I would like to bring your attention to this. You notice that here I have another spot I would like to remove. This spot has rectangle shape, and I prefer to switch to another tool before I will start removing it. So long press on the Spot Healing Brush Tool, and here I will click on Patch Tool. Now I have activated, I have selected Patch Tool. I will select part of this white spot while I'm not selected entire spot. I will explain just in a second. So I have selected half of this spot. I will release my hand, mouth, or my pen, and after that I will move my selection. I will click inside this selection and I will move this selection to the area next to it. I would like to bring your attention to this. I will move my selection to the area next to it, to the background, not to the her coat, not to her face, not anywhere else. And you can preview everything inside your selection. So I will move my selection to the area right next to it, and after that I will release my pen and I will deselect it. And look at this. Now, why I didn't select entire white shape? Because now this shape positioned on top of her coat. I will select it just like that, and I will move my selection a little bit above, and I will make sure that I will aligns my selection to the coat above. Look at this. You can preview everything in a real time. So I'm not moving my selection to the background, not to this part of her coat, not to this part of her coat. I'm moving my selection to the area directly above my selection, and I will release my pen and I will deselect it. And look at this. Let me zoom in for better preview for you. Now I will select this area and I will move it just to the area next to it, and I will make sure that all texture align in a way I like. And just like this. So guys, this is how you can retouch your image using retouching tools in Photoshop. I did show to you 2 tools, retouching tools, because those tools are my favorite and most tools I'm using in any retouching. So stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now let's talk about layers. Layers are very important in any workflow in Adobe Photoshop. I love layers. I'm using layers every day, all day long, 100% of my Photoshop time. So learn how to use layers because you will be using them all the time. Now let's take a look at my in my layers panel. I have 2 layers right now. I have layer 0 and layer 0. I can rename my layers. Renaming layers are very important, so never skip this part. Always rename your layers. To rename any layers in Photoshop, double click on layers name and you can rename it. I will rename it to my background and I will hit return key just like this. Now let's take a look at our top layer. This layer is locked. To unlock any layer in Photoshop, simply click on lock icon and you will be able to unlock any layer in Photoshop. Now we have 2 layers, but we can't preview our bottom layer. If you would like to hide visibility of any layer in Photoshop, click on layers eye icon just like that and you will hide visibility of this layer. You can bring back visibility of hidden layer clicking on this eye icon one more time. Also, you can reposition your layers. If I would like to bring my background layer, my night scene layer above our flying man layer, I will click on background layer on our sky layer and I will move it on top of all layers just like that. Also, you can create a new layer if you will click on this plus icon at the bottom of your layers panel and Photoshop will add a new layer. You can create a layer group. You can create a layer group from the bottom of your layers panel. Click on this icon, folder icon, and you will create a new group. You can, of course, rename your group, double click on your image, on your group name, and you can rename it to my new group or my new layers. I will add layers just like that. You can rename it in a way you like. Now, my new folder is empty. To add layers to your new group, simply click on any layer and drag it into your new group, just like that. Now, if I will expand my layer group, I will see all layers inside this group, just like that. Look at this. Now, if I would like to hide visibility of all layers inside this group, I will click on eye icon in my new layers group, just like that. And I will hide, let me show to you, I will hide visibility of all layers inside this group. If I would like to hide visibility of some specific layer in this group, I will click on this eye icon, just like that, and I will hide our sky layer. So I can preview all other layers in this group, but I cannot preview my hidden night scene layer. If I would like to bring visibility back, I will click on this eye icon one more time, and voila. You can expand or you can collapse your layers in your group at any time. So this is all about layers. Before I will forget, also, if you will highlight any layer, you can change opacity of this layer in a way you need. Also, in layers properties, we have blend mode option. If you will expand blend modes, you will preview all default blend mode. And by the way, you don't have to click on some specific blend mode to preview it. Just you can preview it in a real time, just like that. Look at this. Let's apply. Let's apply. Let's see. Let's apply this overlay, and now we change color of his shirt, and we have this main layer preview in more dark tones. So changing blend modes will help you to apply some specific effect to your layer. So you can use only one blend mode, or you can have a few favorites. I have my favorites. I have my hard light. Also, I love overlay. Overlay doesn't work in this particular image, but I love overlay blend mode. So guys, it's up to you. You can use any blend mode you wish. And by the way, if you applied some blend mode, it doesn't mean you need to stick with this mode forever. You can roll everything back at any time, just like this. Stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now, let's talk about selecting mask. I still have opened image of this flying man, and also I have image below this layer, our beautiful night scene. What I would like to do, I would like to compose those two layers and create one scene like this man is flying above night field. Now definitely I need to remove this white background from his layer. To do so, I will select my top layer, this flying man layer. I will click on object selection tool to activate this tool, and I will make selection around this man. After I made this selection, I will release my mouse, and Photoshop will select the main subject for me. If you notice, Photoshop didn't select anything else. Photoshop selected this man for me because Photoshop is smart enough to understand that I would like to select this main subject. After I selected this main subject, or Photoshop selected this main subject, in the option bar I will click on select and mask, and Photoshop will redirect me to select and mask a workspace. First of all, here you can switch between different view modes. My favorite mode is onion skin, but if I'm working with human or pet hair, I always prefer to switching to black and white, because now I can preview everything in more in a better way, I would say, in this way. Now, for now, I will switch to onion skin. While I'm in onion skin view mode, I can change transparency of my background. I can bring transparency back 100% or I can illuminate it at all. I prefer to keep my transparency slider somewhere about 50 because now I can preview everything. If I made any mistake or I have imperfection, I can fix it without erasing anything what I prefer to keep. So now you can see that I have imperfections. First of all, I would like to remove this white background. I can switch to selection tool and I can select it, or I can switch to my brush tool. In the options bar, I will specify subtract from selection. I will bring size of my brush down and I will erase just like that. I will paint out. I'm not erasing permanently anything. I'm just hiding it. I will paint out this area. I don't want to be in my selection, just like that. If I would like to move my image, I will switch to move tool and I will move it. And here I see that I also need to work on this area. And I remember that I have a white background around here, just like that. Now I will zoom out to better preview for you guys. Also, I have left some areas in his thigh, and using my brush I will paint it out just like that. Now I like everything as it is. What about his hair? Photoshop did a great job, but I would like to improve it. To do so, I will switch to black and white view mode. I will switch to refined edge brush, and I will simply just, not too much, but enough to improve a selection around my subject here, paint around his hair, and look at this. Now you can live preview improvement in your subject hair selection, just like that. Now I'm happy with everything. I will switch back to my onion skin. I will zoom out. We have a lot of helpful sliders in here. Be honest with you, I'm not touching them all the time. It's up to you. Refined mode, you can switch between color aware and object aware, depend of what you would like to work with. You would like to keep more colors in the focus, you would like to work on colors, or you would like to pay more attention to your subject. So you can switch between paying attention to your subject and to your colors. It's up to you. Also, age detection, I don't touch it so often, but what I would like to bring your attention to is decommentate colors feature. You can find this feature under output setting workflow. I always, mostly 100% specify enabling this feature. So I'm always specifying that I would like to enable decontaminate colors feature, because this feature will help me to remove all halos with unwanted colors around my selection, around my object I'm working on. Also, I always specifying output to new layer with layer mask. After I'm happy with everything, I will click OK and look at this. Photoshop did create a new layer with a layer mask, and Photoshop didn't apply any permanent touches to your original layer. Photoshop keep this layer hidden just in case if you would like to continue working on it later on. If you would like to be back to your select and mask workspace, double click on layer mask, and just like this, Photoshop will redirect you to select and mask a workspace. Now I would like to bring your attention to another way of masking your subject. I will bring back visibility of my original layer, and I will highlight this layer, and at the bottom of mine in yours layers panel, we have add a layer mask icon. I will click on it, and now you can see that Photoshop did add a layer mask to my layer. I will click on this mask to activate it, not on layer image icon, on layer mask icon. I will switch to brush tool, any brush tool I or you comfortable with, and I will specify color for my brush to black, and using this setting I will paint out part of my image, part of this white background, just like that. And again, Photoshop didn't erase anything permanently. You can bring this white background back on if you will switch color of your brush from black to white. Look at this. So this is all about selection and masking. Stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now let's talk about adjustments. Adjustments are helpful in photo retouching, photo restoration, photo compositing workflow. I use them very often. I love them. I love them a lot, and I hope you will love them as well. You can access to your adjustment through edit menu. Simply click on it, and here you can click on any adjustment you would like to work with. I never use this way of applying adjustment to my document or to my layer, because in this way I will add permanent adjustments to my layer. I don't want to do it. So what I'm doing, I'm always accessing to my adjustment panel through window menu. Click on window menu, and here click on adjustment. Photoshop will open adjustment panel for you. Now you will apply adjustments as a separate layer, so you will never apply permanent adjustments to your layer or to your document. I will show to you how. I love this image. We composed it just a second ago, but I would like to work on colors. I would like to maybe to add a little bit more drama to this flying man. To do so, I have highlighted this flying man layer, and I will click on example. I will click on yes, create a new color lookup adjustment layer. I will click on it, and just like that, Photoshop displayed properties for me. From here, I will click on load 3D LUT arrow icon looking down, and I will expand all lookups are ready for us. You can use any of them. My favorite, absolutely favorite, is fall colors that look. But particularly in this image, I will probably use drop blues. I will click on it, and just like that. If you notice, guys, Photoshop applied a new adjustment layer to all my layers. But what if I would like to apply adjustment only to some specific layer? I would like to apply adjustment only to this man layer, not to the sky layer. To do so, in the properties panel, at the bottom of properties panel, we have this clipping mask icon. If I will click on it, I will add, or Photoshop will add adjustment only to the layer below it. Look at my layers properties. This is my new adjustment layer, and you can see clipping mask in here. So I applied my adjustment layer only to the layer below it, only to this flying man layer, not to this beautiful night scene layer. Just like that. Keep it in mind. Also, you can example, let me hide it. You can double tap on adjustment icon, and Photoshop will redirect you back to the properties panel where you can modify your adjustment. And because we applied adjustment as a separate layer, we can hide adjustment layer at any time. We can bring opacity value for this layer at any time. And also Photoshop creating a new adjustment layer with a layer mask already. If I will click on this layer mask, not on adjustment layer icon, on layer mask icon, and I will switch to my favorite brush tool with a black color, I will be able to paint out adjustment for some specific area. Example, if I would like to remove adjustment from his hand and face, I will paint it out. If I want to bring it back, I will switch color of my brush to white and I can bring it back. So guys, keep in mind, if you're using adjustments as if you're applying adjustment as separate a layer, you are not applying permanent changes to your document. So never use access to your adjustment through image menu. Never click on image adjustment. Never. Always 100% click on window adjustments. So guys, stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now let's talk about how we can change our sky in Adobe Photoshop. I have opened my image I took a few years ago in Iceland, and I love color of this lighthouse, and I love color of the grass and everything like that. But I would like to add more drama to my sky. To do so, without switching to any other tool, I will click on Edit menu, and here I will click on sky replacement, and just like that Photoshop will open the sky replacement workspace for me. And I know you noticed already that Photoshop exchanged my original original sky with a new one. Photoshop sky replacement workspace remembers the last sky I used in this workspace, so when Photoshop will launch sky replacement workspace, Photoshop will exchange the sky with the last sky I used. If I will click on, or you will click on this looking down arrow, you will see that we have 3 different libraries with default skies. All those skies came with Photoshop, so feel free to use it in the way you like. We have Blue Skies library, Spectacular, and Sunset library. If I will click on Blue Skies, if I will click on this arrow next to Blue Skies library name, I will expand this library. And from here, I will click on any sky I would like, just like that, and Photoshop will add this sky. Photoshop will exchange my original sky with this selected one. If I would like to add a Spectacular sky, I will expand Spectacular library, and I will click on Spectacular sky. Same applies to Sunset library. I will expand it. I will click on Sunset sky, and just like that. But keep in mind that you must respect your image you are working on. If you will exchange the sky with in particular in this image, if you will exchange original sky with this sunset sky, everybody will know that you exchanged your sky. It's not what we are looking for usually, so be careful with this. With this image, particular talking about this image, I will expand Blue Skies library, and here I will click on this sky. Now look at this. No one will know that I exchanged my sky. Nothing is wrong about improving your image, but you need to love your image. You need to respect your image. So don't try to let everyone know that, oh my God, look at this, I exchange, I retouch anything. Be careful with it. Respect your image. You can zoom in thumbnails of your skies library, make it bigger or smaller, it's up to you. Also, you can add, you can use your own sky, and I recommend you to do so. To bring your own skies, click on this plus icon, and you will be able to bring your own sky into your sky replacement library. If you would like to move a new sky, click on it directly on the canvas and move it just like that. Also, you're able to scale size of your new sky up or down. Be careful with down, because look at this. This is not what we are looking for. So pay attention to everything you are doing. You can adjust a brightness of your sky. I will adjust brightness to -3. Also, you can change temperature, make it cooler or warmer. It's up to you. And again, you can change a foreground. You can apply foreground adjustments. Lighting mode. You can switch between a multiply a screen. It's up to you. I prefer to multiply because now it's more natural, real looking image. And output. I would like to bring your attention to output. I always specifying output to new layer. After I'm happy with everything, I will click OK, and just like that. Now, I would like to show to you layers panel. Look at this. Photoshop didn't apply any permanent modification or adjustment to your original layer. If I will hide sky replacement group, you will see that I still have untouched my original layer. Photoshop will add a new sky as a new sky replacement group. So you, even if you will highlight your new sky layer, you can bring down opacity of your layer. You can change opacity of your new sky layer between 0 and 100. It's up to you. Sometimes I'm moving my slider to about 77 just to bring enough to preview my original sky, but add a little bit more drama based on my new sky layer. So guys, stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now, let's talk about content aware fill. I love this feature. In photo retouching, in photo restoration, this feature is incredibly helpful, and I will show to you why just in a second. I have opened image of our Lisa. I took this image just during the summer, and I love this image. Of course, I love this image because it's our Lisa. I love her a lot, but I want to remove all those gaps in our fence just to bring my viewer attention to this sweet face. So how can I remove it? In Photoshop, we can in Photoshop, we can adjust anything in many different ways. We can add colors in many different ways. We can remove object from Photoshop, from current document in many different ways. But what I will show to you is the fastest way of removing all those gaps. I will start with my selection tool, any selection tool I or you are comfortable with. And now I will select this first gap. After I will release my mouse or pen, I have selected this first gap. I didn't select too tight or too loose. I gave Photoshop a lot of information to work with, enough information to work with. Now I need to add another gaps to my selection. To do so, in the options bar, I will specify add to selection, and now I will select all these gaps. And again, I will not select too loose or too tight. So all selections are enough to give information to Photoshop to work with, and again we can adjust anything later on. So after I selected everything I would like to improve, I will click on edit, and here I will click on content aware field, just like that, and Photoshop redirected us to content aware field workspace. On the left side of our screen you can see that Photoshop applied green color to the part of our image. Area covered with green color means that Photoshop will use this area to as source for color and texture. I disagree a little bit with Photoshop about source area, because I don't want Photoshop pick any texture or color from Lisa's head. To fix it, I will switch to sampling brush tool. I will bring size of my brush down, and I will paint this green color out of Lisa's head. So Photoshop will know that Victoria doesn't want me to use this area in my sampling area, just like that. And now look at this preview window. You can preview live everything Photoshop did. So you can see that Photoshop removed all these gaps, but Photoshop left this area because I didn't select it. This area and also area next to her ear. To fix this, I will switch to selection tool. In the options bar, I still have specify add to selection, and using this lasso tool, I will select area next to Lisa's ear, and look at this. Photoshop automatically fix this problem for me. Now let's take a look in content aware field properties panel. Green area means that this area sampling area, like I mentioned just in a second ago, you can change a value, opacity value for sampling area. You can specify value from 0 to 100%. I always prefer to have my value between 40 and 50 because I can preview everything sampling area in my original image in the same time. Also, you can specify sampling area option between auto, rectangular, and custom. It's up to you. Fill setting is very important. Now Photoshop applied default color adaptation option. This option is default option. You can switch between none, high, and very high. Everything depends on your image you are working on. In this particular example, I agree with Photoshop. I prefer to specify color adaptation to default. And look at this. Also, you can change rotation adaptation between none, low, medium, high, and full. It's up to you. I will not touch rotation adaptation today at all. But I would like to bring your attention to output setting. I always specify output setting to new layer. I will click OK, and just like that, Photoshop covered all those gaps. What I need to do, I need to deselect all those gaps, and it's my fault. I didn't select this area in a way I like, but you can do better job. Now look at this. Photoshop again didn't adjust your image permanently. Photoshop created a new layer with fixed gaps. So look at this without and with, and this is the best part. So guys, stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now let's talk about camera raw. You can use camera raw in your photography. workflow, retouching workflow, or any artistic workflow. I'm using Camera Raw with everything. So let's see what we will do today. Today I have image this. I have opened this image. This image is beautiful, but obviously something going on with all colors. All colors are off. They're not real looking colors. They're not complementing to this particular scene and image. I know that I can improve this image. I need to bring back all colors. To do so, I will click on filter. Here I will click on camera raw filter, just like this. Let me bring camera raw filter from another monitor, just like this. So this is my camera raw filter. And first of all, what I will do, I will switch to basic workspace, and here I can change white balance. I can use a white balance tool to pick any area which has 50% of gray color to improve my white balance. In this particular image, I don't have any gray areas or black areas. So what I will do, I will switch white balance from as shot to auto, and look at this. Now I can continue adjusting my image. If I would like to add more temperature, I can move temperature slider to the right to add more warmness to my image. If I would like to make my image cooler, I will move my temperature slider to the left, just like that. Look at this. Maybe I love it more. I can adjust exposure, of course, contrast, and everything like that. But what I would like to bring your attention to profiles. If you will click on profiles, Camera Raw will redirect you to color profiles workspace, where we have ready to go profiles. We have two different libraries. Actually, we have 5. We have basic, we have artistic, we have black and white, modern, and vintage. If I will expand artistic profiles, I can preview any profile without clicking on it. An example, if I like any artistic 08, I can click on it just like that. And after I specify that I would like to use this profile, Camera Raw will display amount slider for me. I can specify amount of this profile will be applied to my image between 0 and 200. It's up to you and it's up to me. I will specify to 179 because now I have kind of mystery and very wintry feeling in this image. After I applied some specific profile, it doesn't mean I cannot continue working on my image in Camera Raw. I will click on this back arrow and I will be redirected back to my basic workspace, where I can continue working on my image, or I can switch to any other workspace I like. So after I'm happy with everything, let me see. After I'm happy with everything, I will click OK, and just like that. But you noted that I applied permanent changes to my document to preserve your original image without applying any permanent changes to your document. You need to do this. First of all, let me undo it. Now, before I will apply any filter to my document, I will click on filter menu, and here I will click on convert to smart filters, just like that. Just like that. And now I will click on filter, camera raw filter, just like that. I will apply any modification. I will adjust my image in a way I like. Now I will convert my image to black and white, just like that. I will click OK. And now look at this. Look at my layers panel. I have camera raw smart filter. That means if I don't like, if later on in 1 hour, 10 minutes, 5 minutes later, I will say, oh, I made mistake, I don't want to convert my image to black and white, I will simply disable preview of my black and white filter I just applied in Camera Raw. So simply click on eye icon and you will hide visibility of your filter or bring it back. If you will click on these filter blending options, you can change blending mode for your filter. Darker, look at this, overlay, or let's see, or lighten. You can do whatever you want. After that, you can click OK, and still you didn't apply any permanent touches, permanent modification to your image. If you would like to be redirected back to Camera Raw, you can double click on Camera Raw icon and Photoshop will redirect you back to Camera Raw filter. So guys, this is all about Camera Raw filter. Of course, Camera Raw filter has a lot of more options, but today we are talking about our beginners. So in this segment, I gave you enough knowledge to start working with Camera Raw filter. Stay with me, I will be back just in a second. Now let's talk about text, how we can add text to our document. I still have opened image we worked on in our previous segment, and now I would like to add hello spring text to this document. To do so, I will click on horizontal type tool just like that, and after that I will click anywhere in my document just like that, and Photoshop will create a simple text for me. This size of this text is huge because I worked with this size of the text in my previous workflow. What I can do in the options bar, I can click on a size text icon to expand numbers, and I can switch to 72. Also, without extra clicking, you can simply point your mouse on T text icon and move your arrow to the right to increase size of your text, or to the left to decrease size of your text. So I will specify text about 169, and I will change my text to hello spring, just like that. Now I have my text, I have hello spring, but what if I would like to change font? I can do it from the options bar. Simply click on font to expand in your library, and here you can click on any image, any text you want. But if you would like to preview your font without clicking on it, select your text just like that, and now if you will roll your mouse over any font, you will be able to preview your font before you will apply this font to your text. I like AL Fresco. I will click on it, and just like that. Now let's talk about another very helpful panel which is supposed to be opened all the time. Click on window menu, and here guys you need to click on properties. This properties panel is supposed to be opened all the time. This panel goes next to layers panel because those two panels are super important in any workflow. Using properties panel, I can change color of my text just like that. I can increase or decrease size of my text. I can change font. Look at this, to any font I like. I can change metrics. I can change position of my text and everything like that. this panel will change based of the tool you are working on. Now, using my properties panel, I can apply modification to my type. I can work with my type tool. If I will switch, just look at my properties panel. If I will switch to, let's see, to ellipse tool, and I will create this simple shape, ellipse shape, look at this properties panel. Properties panel switched to the properties which are helping me with my shape tool, with my ellipse tool. From here, I can change color, just like that. I can change stroke color, size, and everything like that. So keep your properties panel open all the time. Let's continue working with our text. So this is Hello Spring. I love to have a black color in my font, but what if I would like to add extra effects to my font? How can I do this? If I will click on these three ellipses dots, character, I will expand it. And here, guys, I can add more, I can apply more modification to my text. So in options, in properties panel, always click on these three ellipses dots to expand more features. Now, what if I would like to add extra effect, example, extra glow to my text? I can do it through via layers panel. At the bottom of our layers panel, we have this beautiful add a layer style icon. Click on it, and just like that, Photoshop will display a few options for you. Because I would like to add glow effect, I can click on outer glow, and here I can specify parameters for my outer glow. Example, if I would like to add red color, I will click on red color. I will specify opacity to 100%. I can add noise. I can add specify size, spread, and everything like that. Look at this. And the best part, when you are working with a layer style panel, you can add multiple effect. You can apply same effect multiple times. Example, if I would like to add, I will disable outer glow. If I would like to add, example, stroke, I will specify it, and I will just specify enough size, position inside of outside of center. I prefer outside. Blend mode normal. Opacity I can specify between 0 and 100. Also fill type color, gradient of pattern, I will stay with color. And now if I would like to add another stroke effect, I can do it as well. So what I need to do, I need to click on this plus icon, just like that, and I will be able to add another stroke to my text. Now I would like to add kind of yellow, just like that. But you know what? Yes, this is yellow. But I would like to preview my white stroke as well. So I will select white stroke, and I will increase size of it, just like that. And look at this. Now we have kind of 50, 60, 70 text effect, and I love it a lot. So keep in mind that you can add multiple strokes, overlays, gradient overlays, and drop shadows to the same layer. So you can add multiple layers styles to the same layer without launching layer style panel all the time. So keep it in mind, using this panel, you can create incredibly amazing effects. So guys, stay with me. I will be back just in a second. So guys, now let's talk about cropping, how we can crop our image. I have opened this image with a lot of white negative space around it. I love working with negative spaces, but with this particular image I would like to bring my viewers attention directly to this comfortable chair and to this happy smiling face. To do so, I will highlight my crop tool, and when I highlighted, once I highlighted or activated my crop tool, Photoshop displays all those black corners around this image. I can click on any of them and I can crop my image in a way I like. Now, what if I have some specific size I would like to crop my image with? In the options bar, I can click on ready to go presets, and here we have all presets we can work with. If I will click on 5:7 preset, look at this. Photoshop will crop my image to 5:7 based on a selected preset. If you disagree, if you would like to bring in 5:7 area some particular part of your image, simply click on the image and move it in a way you like. All area or highlighted areas which will be preserved after you will crop your image. Gray areas, all areas will be excluded from your image after you will crop your image. Now, what if you would like to remove all those areas, gray areas, which not longer in our image? Why you need to keep size of your image larger than it's supposed to be after you cropped your image? To do so, to let Photoshop know that, Photoshop, I would like to remove a cropped area. In the options bar, enable delete cropped pixels option, just like that, and after you will click OK, Photoshop will crop your image and Photoshop will remove all cropped area. So now you have just area you specified to be preserved in your cropping area. Now let me undo it. You can use your crop tool in another way. Instead of cropping your image, you can expand areas in your document. Example, I have this same image with happy girl and this comfortable chair, but what if I need to add a little bit more white space around what if I would like to add more white space to my document? Again, in Photoshop, we can do it in many different ways, but we can do it much quicker. If we will activate our crop tool, I will specify present to front image, this image, and I will click on crop handles and I will drag it outside of my image, just like that. And I will release my mouse or my pen. Now we can see that expanded areas will have transparent background. What if we would like to fill these areas with areas from our original image? I would like to add a white background. So to do so, in the options bar, I will specify content aware option. I will enable it. And after I enabled it, I will click on accept it, just like that, and look at this. Photoshop will add a specified area around my image and fill this area with this beautiful background. And if I will zoom in, you will see the perfect job Photoshop did for us. Look at this. We don't need to switch to any other tool to fix anything. Everything is perfect. So guys, you can use crop tool in many different ways. Stay with me. I will be back just in a second. Now, when we finished working on our project, we definitely need to save it or share it. One of my favorite sharing options in Adobe Photoshop is directly from the app. At the top left right corner of your screen, you can see this share image icon. You can click on it and you will be able to share your image via messages, airdrops, notes, add to photos, add to reminders, or add to your Lightroom photos. You can specify size. You can specify original size or small size. It's up to you. Also, you can save your image, save or save as. You can export your image. One of my favorite export options is save for a web. Using this option, I can save my document as JPEG, GIF, PNG. I can specify preset JPEG high, JPEG low, and so on and so on. Also, I can specify sizes. Size for my document, and I can preview my image, how my image will look after it will be saved. So this is one option. Also, you can use save as. If you will click on it, you will be able to save your document to Creative Cloud, and this option is very helpful if you would like to access your document from anywhere, from your mobile or from different computers. Save your document to cloud documents. Also, you can save your document on your computer. You will click on it just like that. You will need to specify directory, and you can specify format. Look at this, and after that simply click on save. What else do we have? We have a share option from file menu. Click on it, and again Photoshop will redirect you to share icon. We talked about this just in a second. You can share on Behance. I love Behance. You can invite someone to collaborate. If you, example, have co-worker and you would like to invite co-worker to work on your project, you can invite anyone to work on your document. So guys, this is all what I wanted to share with you today. Keep in mind, this class is for our beginners. I hope I provided you with all necessary information how to start working with Photoshop. And again, if you have any questions, as always, just let me know. I'm here to help you. If you would like to learn more about some specific tool or feature in Adobe Photoshop, also let me know, and I will gladly record a tutorial for you. Just stay with me. And my beginners, I hope now you feel more comfortable with Photoshop. Now I know you will jump into Photoshop and you will start creating. When you will create something, as always, I always asking you, share your creation with me. I'm always happy to see what you are creating after my class, tutorial, or live stream. I can't wait to see it. So guys, thank you for your support. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your time you spent with me, and I will see you very soon. Thank you guys. Love ya. Bye.